Have you ever felt just, that nagging feeling of being overwhelmed? Maybe by life's constant complexities, or you're searching for a clearer path?
We're just trying to navigate the sheer volume of information that hits us every day.
Exactly. Or maybe you simply want to feel more balanced, more present, and, well, truly, deeply awake.
That sense of being fully online.
Right. Today, we're not just scratching the surface, we're taking a deep dive into a really insightful concept from ancient wisdom, the 7 factors of enlightenment.
It's a fascinating system, really. We've pulled from a collection of ancient texts, specifically various suttas, these discourses where the 7 factors are consistently illuminated.
And often through some really powerful analogies, right? Things that make these sort of complex ideas feel clearer.
Incredibly powerful, yeah.
Wow.
Relatable analogies that really land.
So our mission in this deep dive is to truly unpack these ideas for you, maybe reveal some surprising insights, and show you how these ancient principles aren't just, abstract philosophy.
No, they describe a very real, very practical journey. A path towards profound mental clarity and ultimately liberation.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning then. What exactly are these 7 factors of enlightenment?
Well, the original term for them, Bojjhaṅgas, it's quite telling, actually. It literally translates to something like factors of awakening.
Ah, okay.
The very elements that lead one to a state of, profound realization and awareness. They're a set of 7 qualities.
Not just separate things, but linked.
Exactly. Interlinked aspects of mind that, when you carefully cultivate them, guide an individual towards, well, higher states of consciousness and that ultimate freedom we mentioned.
Okay, so what are these 7? How do they kind of fit together?
They really build on each other. So first you have mindfulness, or sati. This is basically being present, right? Fully aware of your experience in the moment, but crucially, without judgment.
Like shining a spotlight.
Kind of, yeah.
Right.
Just seeing what's there. Then second, investigation of phenomena, Dhammavicaya. Now, this isn't just passive looking.
It's active.
It's an active, discerning inquiry, looking into the nature of things, your thoughts, feelings, reality itself, like being a curious detective, of your own inner world.
Okay.
Third is energy or effort, virya. And this isn't about straining or forcing it.
Right.
It's cultivating a persistent, almost joyful effort towards wholesome states.
Yeah.
It's the steady fuel that keeps the journey going.
Makes sense.
Fourth, rapture or joy, piti. This is like a delightful enthusiasm, a feeling of inner lightness, well-being that can bubble up as you make progress.
A bit of encouragement along the way.
Precisely. It keeps you motivated. Fifth is tranquility or calmness, passaddhi. This is that profound stillness, body and mind, a deep relaxation that comes from letting go of all that mental chatter and agitation. Sixth, concentration, samadhi. The ability to really focus your mind on one point, sustaining attention without getting pulled away.
Which allows for deeper insights.
Exactly. It sharpens the focus. And finally, seventh, equanimity or impartiality, upekkha. This is that balanced, even-minded state. You're free from the push and pull of wanting this, rejecting that. You meet life's ups and downs with inner stability.
Wow, that's quite a powerful combination. So how are these factors cultivated according to these ancient texts? Is it something you just try harder to do, or is there a specific orientation?
Yeah, that's a key point. What's consistently emphasized again and again really is that these factors are cultivated by deliberately withdrawing from worldly attachments.
Okay.
Depending on seclusion, dispassion, cessation. These terms come up a lot. It leads to this profound inner release, and the word often used is relinquishment, vajjhaga.
So it's not just intellectual.
Not at all. This phrase, vivekanistatha, viraganisthatha, appears repeatedly. It highlights that the real development isn't just understanding the list. It's about a profound inner shift, moving away from craving and towards liberation.
And this is where that analogy you mentioned comes in, the river analogy. It really helps, I think, understand this directionality for you, the listener.
It really does. It's such a vivid comparison. The texts talk about great rivers like the Gaga, the Yamuna, how they naturally flow eastward or just inevitably towards the great ocean.
Right.
And in the same way, cultivating these 7 factors of enlightenment leads a practitioner towards a specific kind of inevitable destination.
So that flow, the river's flow, it isn't random.
Not at all. It's purposeful, undeniable. It's not about just, splashing around randomly in life. It's like joining this powerful current that will take you where you need to go if you cultivate these factors.
So it's a directed current, not just a collection of nice ideas. Where do these rivers of practice ultimately lead? What are the destinations the texts actually describe?
Oh, Connecting this to the bigger picture, the texts point to maybe three main destinations, and they're all sort of interconnected. In some passages, this cultivation, this flow, it directly leads to the ending of lust, the ending of hatred, and the ending of delusion, a real purification.
Washing away the inner turmoil.
Exactly. Then other passages say these factors are leading to, reaching, and ending in the deathless, the amata. That refers to a state beyond suffering, beyond impermanence.
Wow.
And maybe, most broadly, they are described simply as inclining, tending, and leading to Nibbana.
Nibbana, the ultimate freedom from suffering.
That's the ultimate goal, yes.
So this really isn't just abstract philosophy. It feels like a clear map for a journey. That consistent directional flow of the river, it's such a powerful metaphor for purposeful practice.
There really is.
But okay, before we dive deeper into how to cultivate these factors, how to get into that flow, the texts are also very clear about what gets in the way, right? What stops us.
Yes, absolutely. It raises the crucial question. What are the obstacles? What dams up the river, so to speak? The ancient texts identify 5 major corruptions of the mind, satasa upakalesa. Mental impurities, you could call them.
Impurities. And they use that really striking comparison, don't they, with gold?
They do. It's very vivid. Imagine a skilled goldsmith, right? If their gold is mixed with impurities, the text mention things like iron, copper, tin, lead, even silver mixed in inappropriately.
Then the gold isn't useful.
Exactly. It won't be soft, it won't be workable, it won't be luminous, or truly ready for whatever fine work the smith intends. And in the same way, these 5 mental impurities prevent our minds from reaching their true potential for clarity, for wisdom.
Okay, so what are these 5 hindrances? The things that dim our inner light.
Right. These are the big ones. First, sensual desire, kamachanda. Now, this isn't just physical craving, but any strong desire pulling you towards pleasant experiences through the senses. It yanks your attention away.
Like that constant urge to check your phone, maybe?
That's a modern example, yeah. Or scrolling, or wanting that next treat. Then there's ill will, vyapada, any form of anger, resentment, hostility. From subtle irritation, all the way to outright rage, it just poisons the mind, makes it rigid. Third, sloth and torpor, thinamida. Think of this as mental sluggishness, a heavy dullness.
Like wanting to just zone out.
Exactly. That lack of energy or enthusiasm that makes it hard to engage with anything meaningful. Fourth is restlessness and remorse, udakakuka. This is when your mind is just buzzing, agitated like a bee in a jar.
Can't settle down.
Right. Or it's filled with regret about past actions, replaying things over and over. Impossible to focus. And finally, fifth, skeptical doubt, vicikiccha. Now, this isn't healthy questioning.
No.
It's more like a crippling uncertainty, doubt about the path itself or your own ability to follow it. It just undermines your effort, your commitment.
Got it.
And these hindrances, the texts are very direct. They're described as blinding, non-seeing, hindering wisdom. They literally weaken our capacity for insight and act as major mental roadblocks.
They muddy the river, essentially.
That's a great way to put it, yes.
So, okay, if those are the obstacles, the mud in the river, what's the path of cultivation? How do we clear them out and allow those 7 factors to really arise and develop?
Well, the texts are quite clear on the foundations. The factors of enlightenment, they arise and are developed through 2 really key qualities. First is heedfulness, appamada. It's a kind of diligent, careful attentiveness.
Paying attention.
Paying close attention, yes. And the second is right attention, yoniso manasikara, which means wisely directing your mind. It's about choosing what you pay attention to and how you approach it with wisdom.
So it's not just trying hard, but trying wisely, applying your energy intelligently.
Exactly. And the contrast between cultivating the factors versus getting caught in the hindrances is pretty stark in the texts.
How so? How do they help us cut through that mud?
Well, unlike the hindrances that, blind and obstruct, the factors of enlightenment are described as unhindering, unobstructing, not corrupting to the mind.
Opposite effect.
Completely. Instead of weakening wisdom, they are eye-making, knowledge-making, increasing wisdom. They actually illuminate the path, strengthen your inner clarity. They are the currents that carry you forward, clearing the way.
That's a very clear distinction. And the texts also seem to emphasize the role of just listening, not passively, but really engaging with the teachings.
Oh, absolutely. This is really key. It's specifically noted that when a noble disciple, which just means someone genuinely committed to this path,
right,
listens to the Dharma, the teachings, with proper attention, really focusing, actively considering it, applying themselves fully with an eager ear. then the 5 hindrances are significantly reduced or even absent in that moment.
Just through attentive listening.
Attentive, engaged listening, yes. And in that space, the 7 factors of enlightenment can reach their full development. It really highlights the transformative power of deep receptivity and engaged learning.
Wow. And beyond reaching Nibbana, that ultimate freedom, what are some of the other key benefits? What does cultivating these factors bring into one's life, maybe more immediately?
Well, cultivating these factors consistently leads to the realization of knowledge and liberation, Bojjhaṅga, and also, importantly, a non-decline of wisdom.
Meaning it sticks.
Yes, it's not just a fleeting insight. It means developing a lived, direct understanding, a lasting freedom from mental suffering and confusion. It's like building an inner compass that, always points true, even when things get rough.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, this brings us to the specific practical methods. The texts aren't just theoretical maps. They offer tangible techniques, right? Some of them sound, well, maybe a bit surprising to modern ears.
They do offer very specific methods, yes.
Mm.
The texts detail various deep perceptions or contemplations, sannyas, that when practiced alongside the factors of enlightenment, yield really significant results.
Okay.
Now, some of these can sound a bit intense. For instance, there's the perception of bones, dikasanya, or skeletal contemplation.
Right, contemplating a skeleton.
Or the perception of a body infested with worms, bojjhaṅgasaṃyuttaṃ. Or a discolored corpse, vimalakkhasaṃyuttaṃ. A severed corpse, vichittakasaṃyuttaṃ. A bloated corpse, uddhamattakasaṃyuttaṃ.
Wow, okay. That sounds challenging. What's the thinking behind such vivid, almost jarring practices? How do they actually help cultivate these factors?
It's a fair question. Their purpose is profound. The aim, really, is to help us see clearly the impermanence and the composite nature of the body.
To counter attachment.
Exactly. To foster detachment from unhealthy identification and craving related to the physical form. It's meant to radically shift your perspective on what truly lasts, what's truly reliable. And the text promise that these practices, when done right, have great fruit, great benefit.
What kind of benefits?
They lead to great purpose, great security from bondage, freedom from inner knots. They foster a great sense of spiritual urgency, savega, realizing this is important work. And maybe surprisingly, they also promise great comfortable abiding, a deep inner peace.
Despite the subject matter.
Despite, or perhaps because of facing reality directly. They can even lead to direct knowledge in this very life, a profound intuitive understanding, or at least the state of a non-returner if full enlightenment isn't reached immediately. They help cut through illusions and cultivate equanimity, that 7th factor, when faced with the inescapable reality of decay and change.
Okay. So there's some intense ones. Are there other, perhaps more widely known or gentler practices mentioned that also enhance the cultivation of these factors?
Oh, indeed. Absolutely. The texts also prominently feature the cultivation of the divine abodes, the Brahma viharas. These are probably more familiar to many people.
Loving kindness and so on.
Exactly. Practices of universal virtues that expand our emotional range in really wholesome ways. Loving kindness, metta, radiating goodwill to everyone, compassion, karu, genuinely wishing for others to be free from suffering, sympathetic joy, mudita, rejoicing in the happiness and success of others rather than feeling envy. And then there's equanimity, upekkha again, which we already saw as one of the 7 factors itself.
Right, highlighting its importance.
It's foundational importance, yeah. It's like the anchor, the balanced container for all these other expansive qualities. And, of course, mindfulness of breathing, anapanasati.
A cornerstone practice.
Absolutely fundamental.
Right.
It's presented as an incredibly powerful and accessible way to cultivate all these factors. It's often the gateway, really, for developing deep concentration, samadhi, and sharp awareness, sati, allowing them to truly blossom.
So bringing this all together, what does this mean for you, the listener? How do these various practices, the intense contemplations, the heart practices, the breath work, how do they all fit with the 7 factors?
Well, what's truly fascinating and really practical here is the consistent message across these texts. All these specific practices, whether it's contemplating bones, radiating loving kindness, or just watching the breath when they are done properly.
Meaning
Accompanied by the factors of enlightenment. So
Yeah.
done with mindfulness, investigation, energy, and so on. And again, dependent on seclusion, dispassion, cessation, and resulting in relinquishment.
that core principle again.
That core principle. When done with that orientation, they all lead to the same profound benefits we talked about. Great fruit, great purpose, great security, great urgency, comfortable abiding, direct knowledge.
Well, it's not like you have to do the corpse contemplations.
Not necessarily, no.
Yeah.
It really underlines the interconnectedness of the entire path. It shows there isn't just one single narrow gate. Different practices resonate with different people or are useful at different stages, but they all serve to guide us down that same river.
The river flowing towards clarity, deep insight, and ultimately lasting liberation.
Exactly.
So there you have it. We've taken a pretty deep dive into the 7 factors of enlightenment. We've hopefully understood them not just as, a list of virtues, but as this comprehensive flowing path.
A system for mental purification and deep insight.
Yeah, much like that river's steady, inevitable flow to its ultimate destination, the ocean. We've looked at the obstacles, this mental impurity.
The hindrances, yeah, like the contaminants in gold.
And the specific, powerful practices, some intense, some gentler, that enhance the development of these factors.
It really is a holistic system, isn't it? Where each factor, each practice supports the whole, guiding the mind toward that profound state of inner freedom.
So maybe a final thought for you to consider. How might understanding these factors of awakening shift your perspective on your own inner landscape? If those impurities in gold prevent it from being soft, workable, luminous.
What impurities in your own mind, maybe that nagging restlessness we talked about, or perhaps a subtle habitual sense of ill will, or just that mental fog?
Right. What might be preventing your own innate clarity and wisdom from really shining through? And knowing that these factors are like that river's flow.
How might you begin, maybe gently, to cultivate even just one of these 7 powerful qualities in your own life, whether it's a bit more mindfulness or some conscious investigation, or even just cultivating a little more kindness?
Gently guiding your own inner current, perhaps, towards greater clarity, greater balance, and well-being. Something to think about.